Close your eyes and listen to the wind. Do you hear it? The world is not as empty as it seems. In every corner of our planet, from the frozen tundras of the north to the humid jungles of the equator, there exists a thin veil between our reality and the realm of the unseen. We call them ghosts, spirits, demons, or shadows, but they are the whispers of our collective history. Tonight, we embark on a journey across borders, tracing the footsteps of entities that have haunted humanity since the dawn of time. We begin where the air is heavy with incense and the smell of damp earth, where the line between the physical and the spiritual is almost non-existent. This is not just a collection of stories. It is an exploration of the shadows that reside in the human psyche, the spirits that warn us, punish us, and remind us that we are never truly alone in the dark. In the deep, ancient forests of Indonesia, specifically on the islands of Java, there is a name whispered only in hushed tones, the Genderuo. This is not a mere ghost, but a powerful supernatural being, a member of the jinn family in local belief. Imagine a creature standing over 7 feet tall, its body covered in thick, coarse black hair with glowing red eyes that pierce through the darkness of the banyan trees. The Genderuo is known as a shapeshifter, a master of deception who can take the form of a loved one to lure the unsuspecting into the shadows. They are said to prefer damp, dark places, old wells, ruins, and the dense canopy of the forest. While some believe they are simply mischievous, others tell darker tales of women being spirited away or families being torn apart by the Genderuo's subtle manipulations. They represent the untamed power of nature, the raw, primal fear of what lurks just beyond the firelight in the tropical night. Leaving the humidity of Southeast Asia behind, we travel across the Pacific to the Americas, where the spirits take on a more sorrowful, yet no less terrifying form. In Mexico and throughout Latin America, the wail of La Llorona, the weeping woman, echoes through the riverbeds. Her story is one of ultimate tragedy and eternal penance. A woman who drowned her own children in a fit of jealous rage, only to realize the horror of her actions. Now she is cursed to wander the banks of rivers and streams, her white dress stained with mud and tears, crying out for her lost children. "Ay, mis hijos," her voice carries on the night breeze. It is said that to hear her cry is an omen of death, and to see her face is to stare into the void of grief itself. But she is not alone in these lands. In the high Andes, the Chudachaki, the forest guardian with 1 human foot and 1 goat's foot, watches from the trees, leading travelers astray into the depths of the wilderness from which they never return. Across the Atlantic, the Emerald Hills of Ireland hold secrets that date back to the Celts. Here, the haunting is not found in the shadows of the trees, but in the piercing scream of the banshee. She is a herald of death, a spirit attached to the ancient families of the land. When a death is imminent, she appears, sometimes as a beautiful young woman with long, flowing hair, other times as a withered hag, brushing her hair with a silver comb. Her keening is a sound that chills the marrow, a lamentation that transcends the physical world. It is a reminder that in the old world, spirits were not just monsters, they were part of the social fabric, guardians of lineage and harbingers of fate. In the nearby ruins of English manors, the White Lady glides through corridors, a silent witness to centuries of betrayal and lost love, her presence marked only by a sudden drop in temperature and the faint scent of roses. Turning our gaze toward the east, we find ourselves in Japan, a land where the spirits, or yurei, are defined by the intensity of their emotions. This is the home of the onryo, the vengeful ghost.
These spirits are born from moments of extreme trauma, betrayal, or rage. Unlike many Western ghosts, the Onryo can physically manifest and inflict harm upon the living. Think of the stories of Oiwa or the legendary figures that inspired modern horror. Spirits with long, matted black hair covering their faces, crawling with unnatural movements. They do not just haunt a location, they infect it. Their presence is a stain on the world, a manifestation of a grudge that cannot be settled by time or prayer. In the quiet suburban streets or the ancient temples of Kyoto, the air can suddenly turn heavy, the lights flicker, and the feeling of being watched becomes unbearable. The Japanese believe that if a soul dies in a state of urami or deep resentment, it remains anchored to our world, seeking a balance that can never truly be achieved. In the vast and diverse landscapes of Africa, the spirit world is intricately woven into the daily lives of the people. In southern Africa, tales are told of the Tokoloshe, a diminutive, water-dwelling creature of pure malice. Created by witch doctors through dark rituals, the Tokoloshe is said to be invisible to adults, but visible to children, whom it often torments. It is for this reason that many people in rural areas still raise their beds on bricks, hoping to stay out of the reach of this knee-high terror. Further north, in the forests of Ghana and Togo, the Adze takes the form of a firefly, flickering innocently in the night. But if captured, it transforms into a horrific human-like shape to feed on the life force of its victims. These spirits are not merely ghosts of the deceased, they are active, predatory forces of the supernatural, representing the hidden dangers that lurk in the mundane world, reminding us that even the smallest light in the dark might hold a predatory intent. Southeast Asia returns to our focus, but this time we look at Thailand and the Philippines, where the hauntings take on visceral, physical forms. In Thailand, the Krasu is a terrifying sight, a beautiful woman's head that detaches from its body at night, trailing its internal organs and glowing with a faint, ghostly light as it floats through the air in search of blood. It is a creature of filth and hunger, a curse passed down through lineages. Similarly, in the Philippines, the Manananggal haunts the rural provinces. This winged creature can sever its upper torso from its lower limbs, flying into the night to prey on the unsuspecting. These legends speak to a deep-seated fear of the bodily and the grotesque. They are spirits that challenge our understanding of the human form, turning the familiar into something monstrous and fragmented. They remind us that the most terrifying ghosts are those that carry the remnants of their humanity in the most horrific ways possible. In the Middle East, the concept of the haunting is dominated by the jinn. Mentioned in ancient texts and deeply embedded in culture, the jinn are beings made of smokeless fire. They exist in a parallel dimension to our own, with their own societies, religions, and laws. While some are benevolent, others, known as the Ifrit or Marid, are incredibly powerful and dangerous. They inhabit ruins, deserts, and dark places, and they possess the ability to influence human thoughts or even take control of the human body. The haunting of a jinn is not just a visual apparition, it is a psychological and spiritual battle. They are known for their trickery and their ability to grant wishes that always come with a devastating price. To walk through the ancient desert ruins of Petra or the abandoned villages of the Arabian Peninsula is to walk through the territory of the jinn, where the wind whistling through the stones sounds suspiciously like a human voice whispering your name.
Northern Europe's folklore is steeped in the cold and the dark. In Scandinavia, the spirits are often tied to the water and the mountains. The Nix, or Necken, is a male water spirit who plays enchanted violin music to lure people into rivers and waterfalls. He is a master of the melancholy, his music so beautiful that it becomes a death sentence. In the snowy peaks, the Huldra appears as a stunning woman from the front, but her back is hollow like a rotten tree trunk, and she hides a cow's tail beneath her skirt. These spirits represent the deceptive beauty of the northern wilderness, a landscape that is as deadly as it is breathtaking. To be haunted by these beings is to be seduced by the environment itself. They are the personification of the outdoors, a force that does not care for human life, and seeks only to reclaim those who wander too far from the safety of the hearth.
As we move into the modern era, the nature of our hauntings is changing. We no longer just fear the spirits of the forest or the river. We fear the spirits of the machine and the city. Urban legends like the black-eyed children who knock on car windows in the middle of the night, or the Slender Man, born from the depths of the internet, show that our need to personify our fears has not diminished. These modern spirits travel through fiber optic cables and live in the static of our screens. They are the ghosts of the digital age, entities that thrive on being shared, watched, and feared by a global audience. Yet, if you look closely, they share the same DNA as the Genderuo or the Onryo. They represent the unknown, the boundary crossers, and the things that shouldn't be there, but are. Whether it's a haunted hashtag or an ancient curse, the feeling remains the same. A cold shiver down the spine, and the realization that the world is much larger and stranger than we were taught.
What is it that connects the Genderuo of Indonesia to the Banshee of Ireland? Why does every culture, regardless of distance or history, have stories of things that go bump in the night? Perhaps it is because these spirits are a mirror held up to our own humanity. They represent our fears of death, our guilt over the past, and our respect for the unknown powers of nature. They remind us that every action has a consequence, and that the places we inhabit have memories long after we are gone. Across every nation, the spirits serve as guardians of the threshold, reminding us to walk carefully, to respect the old ways, and to never forget the stories of those who came before. As the sun begins to rise and the shadows retreat, we are left with the lingering echoes of these global hauntings, a shared human heritage of mystery and wonder that continues to haunt our dreams and ignite our imaginations.
Thank you for joining us on this journey through the world's most chilling legends. From the shadows of the Genderuo to the cries of La Llorona, the world is full of mysteries waiting to be uncovered. If you enjoyed this exploration of global folklore and the paranormal, please show your support. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates and deep dives into the unknown. Tell us in the comments, what spirits or urban legends haunt your part of the world? We would love to hear your stories. Until next time, keep your eyes on the shadows and your heart open to the unexplained. Goodbye for now, and stay curious.